Hi, I'm Sara and welcome to Hen Corner. Today we are making Brinjal Bhaji, one of my favourite Indian dishes. It's made with aubergine, which is one of my most favourite vegetables. Now we've tried growing them this year, haven't had much success. I think we started a bit late and yeah, we've been busy this year. We didn't water when we should have done, when it was gorgeous and bright and sunny and very dry. So I don't think we've managed to grow our own aubergines this year, but maybe next year. So Brinjal Bhaji, it's not to be mistaken with the deep fried onion bhajis. It's not crispy, it's not in batter, it's not deep fried, but it's a lovely side dish which actually works just as well as a main dish. And the main ingredient obviously is the aubergine. We've got onions and garlic and we've got tomatoes to create a lovely rich sauce along with all our fabulous spices. So to make this, we're going to start by cutting the aubergine into chunks and gently frying it, and that will soften it. That will make sure that it's ready to absorb all of the lovely flavours of the sauce. And then once that's nice and soft, we're frying it in some olive oil. Then we can start making our lovely fragrant sauce to coat our soft, fluffy aubergine. I nearly said asparagus there. Aubergine. So I want it in chunks. Into the pan. And then on a relatively low heat, because we don't want it to catch on the bottom, we don't want it to burn, but we do want it to soften. We want it to lose the spongy texture, and we want it to be lovely and soft and ready to receive the rich Indian sauce. I'm going to add a pinch of salt to this. That will help to draw out some of the moisture as it cooks down, and we're going to keep an eye on this while it's sauteing. We want it to go soft, slightly brown. We don't want it to stick, and it will be lovely and unctuous, ready for our sauce. Whilst the aubergine is cooking in the pan, we can prepare our onion and garlic. We want not too fine a dice for the onion, because it's nice to be able to distinguish the different vegetables. We don't want just a smooth sauce. We want to see what's in there so we can appreciate all the lovely ingredients. So a medium-sized chunk. And then the garlic, we'll have that a little bit smaller. Cut up small, and it can cook in with the onions. We're dicing the garlic quite fine. The aubergine is browned all over and really starting to soften. So we can now add in the onion and the garlic. Put it back on the hob with the spices and let it start to cook down. So we have the aubergine that's already cooking, the onion and the garlic, and we're now, oh, it smells nice. And we're now going to start adding in our dry spices, giving that a bit of time to cook together, along with the onions that have just gone in, so that we don't have raw flavours of raw onion and raw garlic and raw spices. And then once the spices have been combined and cooking down with the onions and the garlic and the already cooked aubergine, then we'll add the tomatoes and have it simmering. So what are we going to have in here? Well, very popular, well, the trinity of spice for Indian, well, most Asian food is garlic and ginger and chilli. So we've got the garlic in there. We're going to put some chilli. Oh, is that too much? No. We're going to use ground ginger, dried ginger, and I'll be completely honest with you, it's because I have run out of fresh ginger. So we're going to put some dry ginger in. If you've got fresh, that is absolutely beautiful. But this is going to cook down so much that I really don't think you're going to be able to taste the difference at the end. A nice bit of ginger. So we've got garlic and ginger and chilli. We're then going to put some cumin seeds. You can see I'm just shaking it in. It really is to taste. Some coriander. Oh, yes, that ginger. Now that it's hit the oils, it's really starting to give us this lovely fragrance. We're also going to put in some cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and we're going to put in some cardamom pods. Now, I don't need all of these, so I'm just going to have 6 cardamom pods, and I'm just going to gently crush them just to break the pods with the pestle and mortar so that the seeds come out, so it releases the fragrance. There we go. That's going to go in there, and I've got some other stuff. No, I won't. I'll save other spices for a different dish. So here we go. We're going to give that a stir through. We've got our cardamom, we've got our ginger, chilli and garlic, we've got cinnamon, we've got coriander and cumin. Oh my goodness, that smells so lovely. So that's going to go back on the hob. Where I've got the dry spices, the ground ones, I might need a splash of water so that it doesn't stick. Give that a few minutes to coat and start to cook down, and then we'll add the tomatoes and it can simmer. Look at these aubergines. We had to put some water in, particularly because of the ground spices, the ground ginger and the ground cinnamon, because they needed some liquid to help to absorb them and stop them sticking. But this is just the most wonderful base. We've got the soft aubergines that we started off first, and the onions and the garlic, and then all of our spices. And all we need to do, so simple, is add a tin of tomatoes. And then that can be cooking down on the hob. And it is perfect to serve as a side dish with any Indian dish that you've got, that you've made, that you've enjoyed. It will be perfect as a main dish just with some rice. It will be lovely with some flatbreads, or make some naan or some chapatis. Have some raita as well on the side. Make yourself a nice pick and mix buffet of different side dishes and enjoy that. But I'm going to get that back on the hob now and have that simmering down until it's ready to serve. Look at this gorgeous Brinjal Bhaji. We've still got quite a bit of sauce in here, so if you wanted it drier, you can cook it down for longer. You can make it in advance, and you can chill it down, you can freeze it. Now, I'm just going to test it for seasoning. It's really important when you're cooking that you taste your food, and then you know if you need to add a bit more. You can't obviously take stuff out, but just see if extra flavours would really add to it. So I'm just going to taste it. Oh, that's nice. I'm not going to double dip the spoon. I will put a little bit more salt in. There we go. And stir that together, and that would be a wonderful starter. Maybe have a raita on the side, a yogurt dip to cool it down because it's a little bit spicy. That would be lovely. It's vegan, so you can serve it with rice or flatbreads, salad. It makes a lovely vegan dish. Or you can use it as an accompaniment to a main meal or to a vegetarian or a meat dish. But this is our Brinjal Bhaji. Makes for a lovely lunch or a super supper. Very, very nice. And the flavours will improve if you make it in advance and you leave it and serve it later in the day, warm it up. So do have a go. Let us know how you get on, and we'll see you next time.